The Unwinding by Marina Kemp is a poignant and atmospheric novel that explores the intricate web of relationships, hidden secrets, and personal traumas in a small rural village in the south of France. The story is centered on Marguerite de Meuse, a young Parisian nurse with a troubled past, who arrives in the remote village of Saint-Sulpice to care for Jérôme Lanvier, an elderly and irascible former landowner. Marguerite, who has chosen to isolate herself from her former life, hopes that the peace of the countryside will offer her solace and refuge. However, her arrival disrupts the quiet rhythms of the village and exposes the dark undercurrents that run beneath its idyllic surface. Jérôme, Marguerite's patient, is a bitter and cruel man, despised by the villagers for his past transgressions, which include tyrannizing his tenants and family. He lives alone in a crumbling estate, and his ailing health has made him more reclusive and resentful. Despite his foul temper and difficult personality, Marguerite takes on the task of caring for him, but their relationship is far from simple. Over time, a begrudging mutual respect forms between the two, but it is laced with unspoken pain and unresolved pasts that both of them struggle to confront. As Marguerite navigates her role as Jérôme's caregiver, she becomes entwined with the lives of the villagers. Among them is Suki, a Londoner who has moved to the village with her husband and struggles with the isolation and the local resistance to outsiders. Another key figure is Henri, Jérôme's estranged son, who returns to the village after many years away, bringing with him unresolved tension and bitter memories of his father's cruelty. The novel excels in its depiction of the claustrophobic nature of small communities, where everyone knows each other's business, yet many secrets remain hidden. The village becomes almost a character in itself, representing both a place of refuge and a trap for those who live within its confines. Kemp skillfully illustrates the way these secrets simmer beneath the surface, affecting the characters' relationships and shaping their lives in profound ways. One of the novel's primary themes is the burden of guilt and the long shadows cast by past actions. Both Marguerite and Jérôme are haunted by their histories, though they express their pain in very different ways. Marguerite, who is burdened by a deep personal tragedy that is slowly revealed as the novel progresses, has chosen to isolate herself emotionally from others, while Jérôme has allowed his bitterness and cruelty to define him. The complex dynamic between these two characters drives much of the emotional tension in the novel, as both are forced to confront the weight of their guilt and the possibility of redemption. Marguerite's isolation is a central aspect of her character. Her decision to leave behind her life in Paris and take on the role of a nurse in a remote village is motivated by more than just professional duty. It is a means of escaping her past and punishing herself for a tragedy that continues to haunt her. Her internal struggle is conveyed with great sensitivity, as she wrestles with feelings of unworthiness and shame, yet remains fiercely determined to maintain control over her life. Over the course of the novel, Marguerite slowly begins to let down her emotional guard, forming tentative connections with others in the village, though this process is fraught with difficulty. The novel's exploration of aging and death is also significant. Jérôme's physical deterioration mirrors his moral decay, and his impending death forces those around him to reckon with the legacy he will leave behind. His estranged son, Henri, returns to the village to settle old scores and confront the man who caused him so much pain, but Kemp resists offering easy resolutions to these conflicts. Instead, she portrays the complexity of family relationships and the difficulty of finding closure after years of estrangement. In addition to its focus on personal and familial conflicts, The Unwinding also subtly addresses broader social and political themes, including class divisions and the shifting dynamics of rural communities in contemporary France. Jérôme represents the old guard, a landowner who once held power and influence in the village, but whose authority has waned over time. The novel touches on the impact of modernization and globalization on rural life, as younger generations, like Henri, have left the village for the city, while newcomers like Suki and her husband represent a different kind of outsider. Wealthy expatriates seeking a simpler life in the countryside, yet never fully accepted by the locals. Kemp's writing is rich with atmospheric detail, bringing the village and its surroundings to life with vivid descriptions of the landscape and the changing seasons. The slow pace of life in St. Sulpice mirrors the novel's deliberate, introspective tone, allowing the characters' emotional journeys to unfold gradually. The sense of place is integral to the novel, as the village becomes both a refuge and a prison for the characters who inhabit it. Overall, The Unwinding is a deeply moving and thought-provoking novel that explores themes of guilt, redemption, and the complexities of human relationships. Kemp's portrayal of the fragile bonds between people and the weight of the past is both poignant and nuanced, making this a powerful debut novel. The novel's title itself suggests the slow unraveling of the characters' lives, as they confront the truths they have long buried and seek to make peace with themselves and others. The careful balance of character-driven drama and lyrical writing ensures that The Unwinding is both an emotionally resonant and beautifully crafted story.